Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm still on a high after that fight last night. Like, there are some fights in my time where I was just thrilled all the way through. Like, when Terence Crawford versus Yuriorkis Gamboa. That fight was crazy. Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz. Who else you had? Marcos Maidana versus Floyd. That first fight. There's some brawls, some street fights that you be like, damn. Look at this is a hell of a fight. Last night, if you missed that fight, you missed out on something special. Go type in Shawn Porter versus Errol Spence Jr. and you're gonna see the fight of the year, hands down, like bar none. Let me tell y'all something, man. Shawn Porter gave Errol Spence everything he had. He was coming with everything but the kitchen sink at Errol. And he was fighting Errol. And he wasn't moving all night. Respect and props to Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter is a tough opponent. With that being said, Shawn was not robbed last night. He was not robbed. Errol Spence edged that fight out because of that knockdown. That knockdown did it for sure. And that 12th round as well. That 12th round helped seal it. But that knockdown that's what gave Errol that cushion to breathe a little bit, and in that 12th round, try to get busy enough to finish it out and close it out in good fashion, even though he took I think he had like 2 tough shots he took in that 12th round. But he won that 12th round for real. So this is another thing. So I see people clamoring to call Errol a hype job, say he's not who we think he is. He ain't nothing special. He overrated. Everybody beat him and all of this and all of that. Let me just say this though. That is not the best I've seen Errol look. That is the most Errol has been hit before. I agree. Errol looked lethargic at times during the fight. He looked tired at times during this fight. That was not his best performance at all. But to me, I was impressed with the fact that Errol could fight any fighter's game and win and beat him at any fighter's game. He outboxed Mikey and he got the better of Shawn Porter in a brawl. He got the better of Shawn Porter in a street fight, and he stood in the pocket and took tough shots from Shawn. Shawn was throwing he was throwing some heat at Errol. But Errol stood in the pocket and he took it. And Errol showed us that he had a chin. If anything, he showed us he got a chin. If you were doubting Errol's chin and you were doubting how he would respond after getting rocked, he got rocked a few times with some tough stuff. And he stood there and he took it and he throw some rough stuff back. And that's what got him the knockdown with that left hook in the 11th round. Hats off to Errol Spence, man. Errol showed that he can fight another fighter's game and beat him with it. Even if it's ugly. That was an ugly fight. That was an ugly win. But he won, no doubt, in a dog fight. And to me, Errol knew this was going to be a dog fight. Even though he said he was going to knock him out. I'm going to say this too. I was wrong. Because I thought Errol would eventually wear him down. And by the 10th round, he would get the stoppage. And I was wrong. I admit that. I knew Shawn wasn't going to be easy at all. But I thought Errol was eventually going to wear him down. And Shawn wasn't going nowhere. Even after the knockdown where my man's jaw got shifted crazy to, what was it, to the right? And they said he was looking like Wanda from, y'all know from In Living Color, Jamie Foxx's character Wanda. That's how Shawn was looking at that point. Shawn got up and said, let's go. And I said, oh, man. This dude here, man, Shawn different, man. He got a different heart inside of him. And Errol showed he's a dog of a different nature, man. Errol was telling him going into the fight, man, I got more dog than you. I'm going to outdog you. And he was in his fight, and he was bringing that dog to Shawn. And he was taking Shawn shots, and he was coming back with his own fire. Back and forth. Like, this fight was crazy, y'all. Like, I was at my uncle's crib. I'm sitting on the couch at first. I lay up, I jump up, I stood on my feet because I could not sit down. Now, back to the people that don't like Errol Spence. Errol's going to gain a lot of haters after this. A lot of people already don't like Errol Spence because they feel like he's too outspoken. He thinks he can beat everybody. He's too confident. Errol's a really respectful guy. He's not obnoxious. He's not ignorant. He's not belligerent or anything like that. He's just confident, and he has his spats with people back and forth. But it's nothing where he calling people BITCHs and N-words and all. He ain't doing none of that. You know, Errol comes from a great family, for sure. But he's not scared to bark back, and that's what I like. And I resonate with that. Like, people don't like Errol simply because the boxing community has built him as a threat to your favorite fighter. Your favorite fighter being Manny Pacquiao, the Pac-Man, the legend, or your favorite fighter being Terrence Bud Crawford. So people are like, well, after this fight, Terrence will wash him. He'll wash him easy. Manny will wash him easy. Listen, I always was under the belief. I'm a bigger Errol Spence fan than Terrence Crawford. There's no doubt. I think Terrence is special though. But I always felt that Terrence was a better boxer than Errol. I always feel like he's a better boxer than Errol. I think he's more skilled than Errol. No lie. But we can't judge how he fought Shawn of how he's going to fight everybody else. Let's remember, styles make fights. And that's an old cliche in boxing. Styles make fights. How a person's style would determine how a fighter fights that fighter. Shawn was not going to even let Errol box him from the outside all night. He wanted to come in. He knew he had to fight this in close quarters. And that was how Errol was able to land some of the shots that he did. Because if they would have fought from the outside, I think Errol would have neutralized him with the jab. But still Shawn was coming, man. He was coming. But let's back to this, though. You can't look at this fight and say, oh, he going to get watched by that guy, watched by this guy. Because if you would have saw how Floyd fought Jose Luis Castillo, a lot of people would have thought he wouldn't have been able to beat Oscar De La Hoya. A lot of people would have thought he wouldn't have been able to beat, who else? Miguel Cotto. Certain other, it's some people after he fought Marcos Maidana, that first fight. I don't care what nobody say. That fight was close tooth and nail, and Floyd edged that out in the second half of that fight. He got to turning on that heat and showing that he was special because Maidana was hitting him with everything. That's how Shawn was coming at Errol, like Marcos Maidana in that first fight. It was people after that first fight that said Floyd ain't ready to fight Manny Pacquiao. He ain't ready for that. And Floyd was making Manny miss all night when he fought Manny. Fought him differently. Two different styles, man. And so you can't judge that fight. And I'm not comparing Errol Spence to Floyd Mayweather. I'm just giving you an example of how certain fighters fight guys differently than they fight another opponent. And we can't judge this one fight and say, oh, well, that fighter will wash him easy. Although I think Errol needs to work on footwork, though. I will say that. Man, Shawn was turning out them corners, man. No lie. But we can't judge that and say he going to get washed and all that by them. Nah. I think if anything now, Manny will come out and say, I want to fight Errol now. And this one, the stuff get real. This was Errol's biggest test to this date. He won the test. It was close, though. It was close. I don't know. I said he looked lethargic. Maybe he needs to get back with his strength and conditioning coach, Blu-ray, and get a better conditioning. And one thing I noticed, too, Errol looked a little smaller than what he's looked before. To me, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. He looked a little smaller. But yet and still, he was still handling everything Shawn was giving him. And he was throwing his shots back, trading with Shawn like a dog. One thing I saw was Shawn Porter had the heart of a champion, and Errol's heart shined bright in this fight as well. I'm not going to try to act like Errol didn't show no heart and all of that, and because he didn't blow him out the water, he didn't show he was a dog. No, Errol showed he was a dog because Shawn Porter is a tough fight for anybody. Anybody. So everybody that talked that, oh, he couldn't do this against Shawn, woo, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I want to see how Shawn looks against Bud. How Bud looks against Shawn. Because Shawn is a big dude, former football player, big body, and he's not a stationary target at all. I want to see how Bud will look against him. I think because ain't nobody ever looked great against Shawn. Nobody. Kel looked better than Errol, but he didn't look great against Shawn. Shawn is a tough fight for anybody. And everybody know that. Keith Thurman know that. Shawn is a tough fight for anybody. He ain't no pushover. You're not finna just walk, you're not finna bully him at all. And Errol saw that. You cannot bully that man. Because, I don't know, man, Shawn just made a different stuff. But to say that, he couldn't beat Shawn. Shawn was giving him a tough time. I want to see Bud fight Shawn and see how that comes out. Truth be told, Bud is special. No lie. Bud is a better boxer. But Bud, let's be real. Bud went and did his damage at 140. He did his damage at 140 and became undisputed. Hats off to that, brother. No lie. Hats off to that. You won at 140. You became undisputed at 140. That's a tough feat. But 147 is a different game. And at 147, he ain't fought nobody at 147 yet. He hasn't. So I would like to see what Terrence would look like against Bud. Hey, we don't know. We don't know. So you can't holler and hoot and all that. Nah. Terrence ain't fought nobody. Amir Khan? No. Jeff Horn? No. Benavidez? A little bit? No. And Benavidez was having his moments against Bud. And Bud was and we can't, again, Bud won war. Like that war with Gamboa hurt Terrence a few times. He got rocked a few times. He won that fight, no lie. He hurt Gamboa. But Gamboa was tagging Bud too. So you can't just say, oh, Bud is just go watch him. And I'm like, nah. Because Bud ain't fought nobody at 147 yet. Because Bob Arum don't want to do no type of deal with the PBC. He don't want to work with Al Heyman. So he ain't the top dudes is over there. A lot of the top guns is at PBC. He can't get them fights. So until we see him fight some PBC competition, like until I see him fight Shawn or somebody else, I don't know what that fight gonna look like. Because who's to say Bud gonna look good against Shawn? How we know Bud gonna look good against Shawn, man? I just think a lot of people just don't like to me, Errol won this fight. And you only saying that it was very, very close. It wasn't 116, 111. Nah, I don't agree with that at all. Very close. Errol won because of that knockdown. And that knockdown did it. And then that 12th round, he turned up the intensity because he know that 11th round, I got him down. Let me finish this strong. But Shawn wasn't robbed. I think you only feel like Shawn was robbed if you don't like Errol Spence Jr. If you dislike Errol, you're going to say that Shawn was robbed. Yeah, you're going to say it. Now, again, Errol Spence Jr. fans, we know this was not Errol's best performance at all. At all. He got hit entirely too much for my liking. Too much entirely for my liking, man. At times he looked lethargic to me, for sure. But he got the job done. People saying that Shawn got robbed, you don't like Errol at all. And a lot of y'all don't like Errol. A lot of y'all despise Errol. Because y'all think he's too arrogant and all that. Y'all like as if Bud is a humble dude all the time. Bud is humble outside of the ring just like Errol is. But when Bud fighting, Bud be talking big shit. He talk big cash. And some of y'all might say it's warranted because he got the skills to pay the bills. But if y'all gonna say Errol be talking crazy like a gangster, Terrence be talking like a gangster all the time with the opponents, for real. Like, and they heat up in the confrontation and all of that. Told Benavidez, and I ain't gonna lie, I like that though, because Benavidez tried to run up on Terrence. He told him, focus on your fight before you not make it to your fight. All type of stuff. And Bud used to play in the streets, but it's just people don't like Errol for whatever reason. But again, I identify with Errol's personality more because Errol, I don't know, Errol's a thorough dude, for real. And don't get me wrong, Terrence is a thorough dude as well. But Errol is to me, is a people person. Like Errol, again, Errol will give interviews to anybody, I believe. Bud only giving interviews to you if you Joe Rogan or somebody special. He ain't, well, if you a little kid, he might do it. But you an average dude, he ain't doing no interviews with you. He ain't. Bud ain't feeling that. Nah, I ain't doing no talk to him. Nah, I ain't. That's just how he is. That's what it seems like to me. Errol, it seems like a people's person. He's of the fray. And Terrence is of the fray as well. He from the hood, but I don't know, he only talks to, to me, Terrence only talks to certain people, certain media people. He don't, and I'm not saying he has to. I'm just saying that's why I feel Errol more. Errol will talk to anybody. But, and Errol be talking that shit too that a lot of people don't like. He calls people out when they say he was gonna get washed and all of that. He calls out when guys say, we called out Oscar De La Hoya because Oscar still needs to talk about them racist emails and his treatment. He say he don't treat black fighters well. I don't know, but I know he ain't talk about them emails at all. And Bernard Hopkins act like this shit ain't happened. He act like he ain't said nothing about it. Them emails came out, and it was times when Zab was fighting. Who was he fighting? Danny Garcia. And Zab was pissed at Oscar De La Hoya. Pissed because he said Oscar was letting stuff ride and all type of stuff happen. He ended up basically like, I'm getting treated crazy over here, man. This is crazy. This is ridiculous. So it was a merit to what Errol Spence was saying. Nonetheless, man, a lot of guys don't like Errol Spence Jr., so they looking like, Shawn got robbed, he got beat, all this and all that. Man, I ain't trying to hear none of that. He was in a close fight, a super close fight. He edged it out with the knockdown and he won the dog fight. He won the street fight. No doubt. Now, Errol caught him low a few times with some low shots. I'm not going to lie. He did. It was a tough fight. It was a bang, rough, tough fight, both as well. Both of them headbutting, all type of stuff. So that was a rough physical fight in general, man. And I don't think the low blows were, of course, I don't think it was intentional, but hey, things happen in fights like this. But I think Errol edged him out, and most of the people who think Shawn got robbed just don't like Errol Spence because Errol feel like he can beat your favorite fighter. Whether he feel like he can beat Canelo, which after this, nah. Not Canelo, not Canelo. But Errol feel like he can beat Manny, he feel like he can beat Bud, he feel like he can beat any welterweight. He feel like he can move up to 154 and fight J-Rock. Woo! Julian J-Rock Williams. Golly. When J-Rock fought Jarrett Hurd, that was some stuff right there. But, yeah, man, I just feel like Errol fell into Shawn's game plan because Shawn make you throw your game plan out the window. And he fought Shawn's fight and edged him out. Same way he beat Mikey Garcia at his own game, outboxed Mikey. But that was a clear-cut blow out the way. He blew Mikey out the water. But in this dog fight, he was in a rough and tough physical fight. And he came out victorious. Now he's the unified WBC IBF welterweight champion of the world. He got 2 belts. He's trying to collect all 4. Next up, Manny Pacquiao. Danny Garcia came in the ring too. But I'd rather see him fight Shawn again or Manny Pacquiao than Danny. But I'm not going to sleep on Danny, man. Danny ain't no walk. He ain't no pushover. He ain't no light dude. Danny can fight. He got pop too. Danny can hit. He can hit. That's no lie. That's no lie, man. I think that would still be an exciting fight, though. Man, that was thrilling, man. Like, I don't care what nobody say, man. Shawn got the heart of 2 lions in him, no lie. Like, Shawn looked good. He looks the best I've seen him look against top competition. But Errol was pushed to the limit. And he showed me he got what it takes to still prevail. In a dog fight, he still can dig deep. When he in deep water, can swim to shore and come out victorious. He showed in deep water he still could swim to shore. If you throw some adversity at him, he could still withstand adversity and still persevere and get through the fight. And still get his stuff off. Because he still got his stuff off. So, I tip my hat to Errol too, man. Like, this is a great fight, man. This is just exciting for boxing. What a great night for boxing, man. I think boxing won last night for real. And Errol won the fight too. Let's not be mistaken about that. I'm not hearing that Shawn was robbed stuff. That knockdown sealed it for him. Very close. Very close. Might have been a draw. Might have been a draw without that knockdown. But that knockdown sealed it. Errol won. If you feel like Shawn won, you just don't like Errol. Or you wanted Shawn to win. No lie. Machiavelli Mills TV. Peace.